So what we've got here is some very lightweight spring. I'm going to turn it into some little springs, electrolyse a bunch of them, and we're going to test them to death. So there you go, that's 10 little tiny springs. They're an absolute bastard to make, but they're all more or less the same size. So we can get in closer. Yeah, they seem to look okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 5 of those and we're going to stretch them to buggery, and the other 5 are going to go in the tank and get electrolysed for an hour or so. Now the reason that we're using clean springs is to avoid rust, even though we're talking about rust conversion. Now I think we're all fairly much in agreement that if you've got a rusty spring, you're going to bin it and buy a new one. And that is the case, but I have been known to rust convert on spring steel, particularly spring collets, which are 40-50 euros a pop. If they're a bit rusty, I've been known to sling them in the tank. I've got no real qualms about it, but we'll see how this goes. So the first lot I'm going to stretch to see at which point they go past their elastic limit. And then we'll try the second lot and see whether they stretch further, whether they stretch less, whether they break, and we'll see what happens. There you go. Right, here's spring number 1. It is 8mm long. And what we'll be doing is stretching it for a start by 8mm. 100% extension, that's okay. 10mm, that's okay. 12mm, that's okay. 15mm, and it's okay. 20mm, and it's okay. Bloody hell. 22mm, it's okay. 5mm, and it's okay. 30mm. Okay, I think we've got past its elastic limit. So that's the first lot done. Started off at 7mm, managed an extension of up to 24mm average before they went past their elastic limit. So the second lot, we're about to go into the bath, and we'll see what happens with those. Okay, wibbly wobbly idiot vision again. So while I've been welding stuff up for Piglit, this has been cooking. It's been running for a couple of hours, so it's unplugged. Piece of scrap in there. Now you'll notice that the froth in this is relatively clean. It's because there's no rust. But there's a bunch of yeah, we got those in focus? I don't know. Let me see. Blimey, trying not to spill this crud all over the place. Right, is that focused? Yeah, that's focusing there. Yeah, focusing. So there's my springs. They've come out, and we'll test those in a bit. I'm going to give them a quick spray with some oil to get the water off so they don't flash rust. Righty-hoo. So here we've got our 7mm springs, freshly out of the degunking tank. Now you'll notice that they're very clean. They're very clean because they weren't rusty. As I said, I wouldn't trust derusting a spring. And if we believe what we're told, I shouldn't be able to stretch these out too much before they snap or go past their elastic limit. So here's number 1. Right, out to 10mm, comes back. 15mm, comes back. 20mm, comes back. 25mm, comes back. 30mm, past its elastic limit. So somewhere between 25 and 30mm. Number 2. 0.7mm springs, 7mm long. Before treatment they're stretching out to 24, 25, 26mm. After treatment they're stretching out to 24, 25, 26mm. They don't seem to have changed. Now these have been derusting this morning, they've been in the electrolysis tank for a good 2 hours, probably closer to 4. I was running a fair amount of current through them, given the size of the springs. They were bubbling away quite happily. I'm not seeing hydrogen embrittlement as being an issue. But anyway, take what you want from that. What I might do is make up a couple of longer springs and see how long they do on cyclic extension. Given that I can stretch them by 3 times their actual length, I reckon if I make up a jig to run on the lathe, I should be able to just hit them hard for a long time with an awful lot of extensions until they break, and see how long they last. But I'm cutting it short there. I've got welding to do, so we'll see you some other time. Later, guys.